You're gonna say something. Hi, it's Renee and Joe, and we're in the shed. Today we're trying something a little different. We're trying to share in the wealth, so to speak, and sharing what has been purchased and what we sold it for. I think Joe doesn't like my, what do you call it? My advice or my constructive criticism. So we'll see how this turns out. I think he wants me out of the shed.
I don't mind her being in the shed. So we're gonna go through what sold in the last 2 days. Sold just over $500 and 24 items. So we'll take you through it and let us know what you think about it.
He doesn't like it when I'm in the shed.
So the first thing that sold is this splitter for a, I'm guessing for a TV. I'm not really sure. Picked it up at a thrift store. Actually, I think that's the same thrift store that we got all the medical supplies at. But picked it up for $3 and it sold for $12 plus shipping. So the buyer is all in on this at $21.66.
So the next thing on our list of solds is this Villeroy and Bach enamel painted colander. It's a 3-quart. It's a little dusty inside. I did clean it. We purchased this at Goodwill for $4.99. It sold for $23 and the buyer is all in at $36.99. Let me just tell you something. Joe thinks I'm crazy when I pick up stuff like this. And he makes fun of me, and then it sells. Like this sold within, what, a week? And I'm a better sourcer than he is, just so you know. Much better sourcer. Just thought I'd let you know. Don't think I'm a better sourcer. Pay attention in this video because I'm going to show you everything I sourced and everything that sold. So I sourced this on our way back from Jacksonville from dropping off our son at school. I had never seen it. But I did look it up and they were selling for a decent amount of money. It's the Tides, Norfolk, I can never say this, Norfolk, Virginia, I believe. And it is a minor league team. I bought this for $1. It sold for $10.39. And the buyer's all in at $15, my eyes are bad, $15.94, I believe it says. Anyway, I picked this up. And again, Joe thought I was crazy, but it sold. Finally, it took a while, but it sold. I hope he shows these outtakes. He's like, I gotta give it a second, blah, blah, blah. Okay, here we go. I also sourced this at an estate sale for $1. It is a Leonard silver plate owl trivet. And I paid, I believe, $1 for this. And it sold for, what did it sell for?
$6.50.
$6.50. So not a great profit on it, but the buyer is in at all in at $12.49. It did sit for a while, so even though I'm a better sourcer, it did sit for a while.
So she may think she's a better sourcer than me, but I get way cooler stuff than she does. So this is a tobacco and pipe stand. Pick this up at an auction. Store your tobacco in here.
Tobacco.
Pipes get stored here. Holds 8 pipes. Picked this up. Paid a little much for this because I picked this up at an auction and I got into a little bit of a bidding war with somebody and I really wanted it. So paid $12.50 for this.
What? You told me $5.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
$12.50. And sold it for $23, and the buyer is all in at $43.07 on it. So great buy, probably not, but very interesting buy.
So let this be a lesson. And you go to auctions and you want something, you got to set a limit. Otherwise, you get emotionally involved. So set a limit on what you want to pay for an item and stick to it. It's hard to do. Hi, I sourced this. This is a Department 56. Someone on their videos had said to watch for Department 56 items because they do sell well. I picked this up probably for about $1 at an estate sale. And it's been sitting there for a while, but Christmas stuff sells year round, so don't be afraid to list it. It sold for a whopping $8.79, so not a whole lot of profit, and the buyer is all in at $10.54. So let me give you a Department 56, and this is a nativity scene, and it's not very big because what they do is they build villages out of this stuff. Okay, this is a gibbet. I always call them jizbits for some reason. I get it all messed up because of the way they are spelled. Joe's shared with you before that these are charms that go on Croc shoes, and this one is a bolt or a screw. It's made of metal, and it sold for $7, and the buyer is all in at $11.74. And by the way, I'm the one that sourced these Croc gibbets. My husband thought I was crazy. We bought thousands of them. We have about 10 cents into each one of these. So this is one of our biggest sellers. We can pretty much depend on selling these about, I would say 5 days a week we'll sell one or two. So it's a constant sell for us and an easy flip and profit. Okay, another thing I sourced from Joe's old video games, and he used to like to play poker and Texas Hold'em, which I still don't understand how to play, but anyway, this is a World Series Poker of 2008, and it's a PlayStation 3 game. I don't get into video games very much, but anyway, I put this out there. So we had nothing really into it. We sold it for $15.99. And the buyer is all in at $22.11. So not a bad. I sourced this at Goodwill. I don't know how to say it. Poesis. You can only buy these online through their website. So it's a cute little purse. And I picked it up for $4.99. It sold for $20, and the buyer is all in at $28.25. Here's another gibbet. This is a soccer ball from Mexico. We had quite a few of these. We had one buyer buy 6 of them at a time. But like we said, we got about 10 cents into this. It sold for $4.79, and the buyer is all in at $8.64.
So this is part of our medical supply buy. It's a Coloplast protective skin barrier wipes. So basically, I think it's like a alcohol wipe for your skin.
Turn around.
With
oh, it's got a bad glare. I don't know if you can see that, but there you go.
Paid $1.50 a box for these. Allotted them all together, 7 boxes, and sold them for $20. Buyer is all in with shipping at $36.50. So making a little bit of money off of these, just adding to the medical supplies that we picked up and sold.
Oh, sorry.
All right. So
Not a good camera holder.
she's not a good camera holder. These medical supplies, apparently Renee wanted me to source these, so
Apparently?
this is her source. But to let y'all know, she picks all this stuff up. There's a spider on the lens. She picks all this stuff up, throws it in the cart, and then brings it to me and says, hey, here, look all this stuff up and tell me what you think. So who's really doing the sourcing?
But,
she's just bringing it all together.
Hold on.
Oh, I sit there quietly while you're talking. Oh. So she brings it all together. Basically, I'm in the store already. If I would just go down the shelves, I would see it eventually. So she's shaking her head now. So y'all try to figure out who the better sorcerer is.
These medical supplies were in the back corner of the store, and I asked him if he had seen them, and he said no. I said, you might want to look at them. I had already looked them up, but I will tell you, I do give him a lot of stuff to look up because, hey, that's what he's good for. I sourced this a long time ago. I was really into, and I still do, watch The Crazy Lamp Lady, but I was watching The Crazy Lamp Lady, and I was looking for old vintage pictures and everything, and I came across this one. If you ever do come across them, I don't know if Joe can get a picture of that. It's an OCI. The OCI brand is a Fitz and Floyd division of Fitz and Floyd, and the cuter little animals and stuff like that, they do usually sell well. I purchased this and thought for sure it would sell quickly. It's a 2-quart pitcher. It did not sell quickly. I think this is something that we've had since we started our eBay store, but it finally sold for $12. I probably have like $4 into it and a lot of shelf time. And the buyer is all in at what, Joe? $23.65. I have a hard time seeing that. So.
All right, so we did a big retail arbitrage day at GameStop. We went to a couple different GameStops. We had watched Justin over at RVA Flips, that he had gone and done it, so we were like, we'll give it a try. So I think we wound up spending a couple $100. Picked up a lot of stuff that was on what's it called? Clearance. And this was one of the items. Everything was like $5 or less. We picked up all these Funko Pops right here. They were all down to $5, but they were buy 3 get 1 free, so that brought it on down to about $3 a pop. This, I believe we paid $5 for. All this stuff is sat for a while, hoping that we sell a lot of it next Q4. But had $5 into this. We sold it for $13.59 plus shipping, and the buyer is all in at $18.24. So we're making a little bit of money off of it. Don't know if I will continue buying stuff like this at retail arbitrage just because of how long it's sitting and the amount of storage that we have. But there you go.
Here's another Jibbit, or Jizbit as I call him, and it's the Cookie Monster. We have about 10 cents into him, and he sold for $4.40. The buyer is all in at $8.81. This is part of my Thrift 30 challenge, so by April 14th we have to see who has sold most of their items for that they purchased for under $30. This is a Martha Stewart knit and weave loom kit. It's my cost was $4. It sold for $22, and the buyer's in at $23.82. These are an old vintage enamel cookware. My granny used to have mint condition, as Lonnie would say. Anyway, my granny used to have a wash basin and a ladle, and we used to be able to drink out of that. And then there was you could take a ladle of water and put it in another bowl and wash your hands. My Granny Grunt, that's what we called her. She lived until she was 104, bless her heart. Anyway, I bought these for $5, and they sold for $10. Is that right?
Yep.
And so the buyer's all in at $21.60. So they've been sitting for a while. We got these at a garage sale. I will not buy something like this again, but it was nostalgia, and it reminded me of my Granny Grunt.
All right, this is a WWE Wrestling Center for your figurines. Picked this up at Walmart for $5. It was on clearance, yellow tag clearance. Normally, I believe they're right around $40 at Walmart. We sold this one for $19.20, and the buyer is all in at $31.45 with the shipping. So it's got a little bit of weight and a little bit of size to it. So we'll see what we can do to save the buyer a little bit of money on shipping. But, yeah, and we got 4 of these. So if you're interested, come to our store and get one.
So I sourced this puzzle at an estate sale for $1. I had watched a couple people picking up puzzles and saying they were flipping them for a pretty good price. Anyway, we have $1 into this. It sold for $7.55, and the buyers all in at $18.98.
All right, this is a little heads-up display for your cell phone. Basically, you put it in your car, and you put your cell phone on it, and it turns your cell phone into a heads-up display for your GPS. I found this by myself at a garage sale for $5 and sold for $15.99. Buyers all in at $16.89, and we've only had this about 2-3 weeks.
Not even 3 weeks.
Not
two,
even.
maybe 2.
Not very long. So it sold pretty quick for 3 times what I paid for it. So
Right.
all right. So next up is this Toastmaster air fryer. We picked this up at Dollar General on clearance after Christmas and all that stuff. We paid $8.75 for it. We actually picked up 2 of them, and we used one of them. So basically, we got a free air fryer now, because this one sold for $23.99, and the buyer is all in with shipping at a little over $37. All right, next item is a lot of CSX railroad calendars from the 1970s. These were calendars that were given out to the employees to put on their desk or hang on their walls or whatever that worked for CSX. Picked these up at a yard sale. Guy had a bunch of them. He retired from CSX. The ones I picked up were from the 70s, 80s, and a few from the 90s. So I broke them up by decade and sold them off in lots. I think I paid $5 for the whole set of them. And this is a lot from the 70s that sold for $25, free shipping. So I'll probably have a few dollars in shipping on this. Definitely making our money back. I sold the 80s just before we started doing YouTube, so I've had them around.
This is for the Thrift 30 challenge. They're Canon cartridges for your printer, for a printer, and I bought them for $3, sold them for $19.20, and the buyers all in at $20.35. So maybe a lot of people are doing cleaning. I purchased these for the 30 Thrift challenge as well at $1.50. There's 11 vacuum bags in here. We sold them for $10 free shipping. The buyers all in at $10.70. I bought this vintage brooch. It's probably been back in the summer, also before we started YouTube, for about 50 cents. It is signed JJ, and it opens to display a pretty little faux pearl. I purchased it for about 50 cents. It's sold for $8.50, and the buyer is all in at $12.38. So I purchased this for the 30 Thrift challenge as well. It came with 2 pillow covers inside. I separated that out to sell it, to do a separate lot on each. Typically these go for a lot more money, but I was getting a little anxious about selling stuff, and I also heard they do better on auction. And I sold this for $10. The buyer's all in at $15.38. I paid $1 for it once I separated it out from the others. So right now may not be a good time to do auctions. People are tight on money, and this is something that they can do while on lockdown or quarantine. If I had it to do over again at this particular time, I don't think I would have put it on auction, but I did make a little bit of profit on it, and we'll see how we do with the Thrift 30 challenge. One other thing I want to bring up about eBay right now is I did sell this on the 30 for the 30 thrift challenge, but from what we're hearing from other resellers and YouTubers, there's maybe a glitch with eBay, so keep an eye out for that. I would go, Joe did, went and looked to see what we had listed for free shipping. We didn't see this, but it was listed for free shipping, and it weighs probably 2-3 pounds, and so I'm ending up having to pay $12.86 on shipping for this, and we did not purposely put it out there for free shipping. We know that for a fact. So just be careful, look for that whenever you are listing things, that it doesn't automatically default to free shipping. People have said that it's been happening.
Alright, so Renee had to take off. The dogs are outside barking, trying to figure what's going on out there. Had 23 orders, I believe is what it was, or 24. A little over $500 total. That does include some of the shipping. I'm going to get this packaged up so we can get it off to the post office, because it's Friday, and maybe they can get it early next week.